I began working in Herrera in '96. And then when I began working, we were a very small group. Literally, we could sit and have meetings around this table. And now it's a whole building of people. So I think in that sense, the evolution has been incredible. It's grown and grown and grown. But also in the way we pick the ingredients, in the way we treat them, there's developments always in technology, in ideas, in thoughts, in society. Because, you know, when you do a perfume, you have to also keep up with what's happening in the world. For example, 212, my first one, that was '96. And I think it was such a new fragrance, so real. It was about New York. It was about the energy of New York. It was about the possibilities of New York. It was about the inclusivity of uptown, downtown. I mean, it was ahead of its time because it was a round bottle. It was full of energy. It was vibrant. It was metal. It was a female fragrance, but I remember a lot of men saying, you know, we also use this fragrance. And I at the time, 22 years ago, say, you know what?
Quite ahead of its time.
Fragrance doesn't have the label of being unisex for men and women to wear it. It's about smell. It's about memory. It's about fantasy. It's about, you know, romanticism. So it doesn't matter what you are to wear a scent. So I think it stood the test of time because it was a real creation. It came from a real place.
Is it more challenging to kind of create perfumes as such in a market that is over-flooded maybe with competition?
It is a challenge, but it's a challenge we don't think about because what we really focus on is the brand, is Carolina Herrera. It's the DNA of the brand, is the ingredients that we use. The concepts are real. Usually, you know, when I work on a perfume, I think of things that sound real to me, that are part of my memory, that are part of my experience. And then, of course, we make it, we change it because I'm not doing a perfume for me. But usually there is something that's quite real about it. And I think that's what we focus on, the brand, the reality of the concept. We're not doing something just because, you know, now we're doing this because everybody's doing it. And I think that's the key.
For the next year, how does the strategy of the business for Carolina Herrera fragrances look like? What do you have planned for us this year?
Oh, we have so much planned because we not only have fragrance, but we have beauty. We're doing sort of soft lunches, but it's a beautiful collection. It's called Herrera Obsessions. There's lipsticks and then there's powders. And what you do is you buy your lipstick and then you play around with the different packaging. So
you get to refill.
You get to refill and
personalize.
And personalize, which is the beauty of it. And it's almost like a jewel. It's almost because you can carry your lipstick around and you can put your initials and you can put the jasmine.
You use it as a charm as well.
You can use it as a charm.
Was it risky to kind of take this decision after all these years and, you know, having the strength and the power as a fashion brand and as a fragrance brand to enter the world of beauty this strongly with launching the cosmetics? Was it always on the plan?
It was always on the plan for me. I always think huge.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been wanting to do makeup for a very long time. But then, you know, there's people that know when and tell me, okay, now it's the time. I always want to do everything, you know, way before, and then there's a time to do it. And it is a challenge. It still is a challenge. But I think this is makeup you can really wear, you play around with. The quality is amazing. We worked with a great makeup artist. And I think it was time because it evokes all the brand values. Alegría de vivir, beautiful colors, empowerment. We have, you know, amazing women. They're not known, you know, we don't have these brand ambassadors. We have all these great models from different walks of life. And it's makeup you wear, and it's makeup that doesn't really cover all your imperfections because
kind
I
of
think
embraces them.
Yes, I think, you know, I'm all for showing who you are.
كنت قد ذكرت أبرز الأسماء التي تعاونت مع كارولينا هيريرا في مجال صناعة العطور، التي هي في معظم الأحيان انعكاس للقيم الأساسية لكارولينا هيريرا، المصممة وسيدة الأعمال. كارولينا هيريرا Confidential Collection رحلة عبق آسرة فاخرة تكشف الذكريات المثيرة والمبهمة في آن معاً. تجتمع الأناقة، الأصالة والرفاهية في مجموعة 6 زجاجات تشبه الأحجار الكريمة الملونة. إليكم هذا اللقاء مع إليزابيث فيدال.
And today we're here to talk about you, to talk about your passion, your story with perfume, and key ingredients that go into the Carolina Herrera fragrances.
Well, I've been working for Puig for many years, more than 20 years. And this was my passion since I was 14 years old, I think.
When you say 14 years old, was there a specific moment in your childhood where you remember that made you want to go into the fragrance industry?
Well, I had the chance and the opportunity to meet 2 big friends of mine that were already in the perfumery industry because of their families. So they introduced me to that world, and I loved chemistry at that time. I was a perfume collector also, and I had the chance to know about this world, and I was guiding and following all my life to study chemistry, to study perfumery, to arrive.
Throughout your earlier years, you moved a lot between Paris, Amsterdam, New York, Grasse, which is the capital of perfumery in the world, and obviously Spain. What do you take from all these travels with you? How inspiring was all these travels throughout the years for your creative vision?
It has really been incredible because the most important creative centers are in New York and Paris, and of course in Grasse, in south of France. And all my expertise, all the people that I've met during all these years have me grown and improved my knowledge and my expertise in Grasse, where I had the opportunity to go to the fields, to smell the rose, to smell the jasmine. I've gone to Sri Lanka to smell also the sandalwood that we have in one of our fragrances, to Italy also to smell the bergamot, which is the freshest citrus note that we have in our palette. So I've taken not only the expertise from many perfumers, but also the knowledge of the fields and the raw material.
Did you grow up being inspired by a particular perfumer, a well-known perfumer?
Yes.
Who are your favorites?
With Alberto Morillas.
Oh my God, I love him. I met him a few times.
Very well known around the world.
King of citrus, they call him?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Carlos Benaim also, he's based in New York, and both of them were my master perfumers that I learned a lot from.
How do you work with Carolina Herrera on the fragrance launches, for example, or the concepts?
We start from a brief that is going to be developed by the marketing team, and then we have a really very enriching dialogue with Carolina in order to look for the best idea that it's going to fit with that concept. So we start with her, and we work with the marketing team and also with external perfumers and the perfumery center. So it's a work within a team that it's going to look for the best idea that it's going to fit with that concept.
So the key ingredients that you said, the center of this love affair was jasmine, but jasmine is not the only key ingredient in the Carolina Herrera perfumes. On the table here, we have a number of different ones, and one of them obviously resonates a lot with my background. It's saffron.
Yes.
We eat, drink, and live in saffron, where I come from.
So we were really inspired by the saffron for saffron lazuli. In fact, I'm going to...
And where does the saffron come from?
From Iran and from India also. And as you may know...
I'm half Persian, I'm half Iranian.
Oh, wow.
That's why it's very emotional for me.
So this fragrance is based on saffron oil, and it's fantastic because we wanted to do a really very special fragrance surrounded or based on this saffron oil.
So if we were to look at this as a pyramid, what are your base, middle, and top notes for this perfume?
In the top notes, you have a mixture of different spices, in which one we would like to stand out, of course, the saffron. In the middle, we have a rose, which is really fantastic. It's a really very high standard and qualitative rose. And in the bottom note, we have a leathery accord combined with other woods and other oriental notes to give a little bit of softness and attractiveness to the fragrance. So mainly saffron, rose, and leather, which gives the main character to the fragrance.
And does this perfume resonate with a specific region? Was it inspired by a specific travel?
So
what does lazuli mean?
Lazuli, we are going to refer all these products to a special gemstone.
Okay.
And in this case, we wanted to reflect I will say the energy of lapis lazuli,
okay,
which is a really very precious stone. So we were really very inspired about the color of the bottle, and we wanted to reinterpret the flower of saffron.
When you say energy, what do you mean?
For me, full of energy is it's going to represent the texture, the opulence, the sophistication, the elegance, the color for sure. And when you see this beautiful flower from saffron, you are going to see the contrast. It has really very special violet and blue petals on it, very contrasted with the threads in red, which are saffron. So
what I absolutely love is the fact that this fragrance is one of those that leaves a trace. It is definitely a perfume of a very strong, empowered woman that wants to be noticed, for sure.
For sure. And I don't know if you know that saffron is, in the Greek mythology, a symbol of eternal life. So it's a really very beautiful story also.
Moving on to Sandal Ruby, which is also one of my favorites.